Howdy, my name is Zara and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to propagate succulents, made simple and easy, and also give you a few tips and tricks that I've come to learn over my years of propagating a variety of succulents. Okay, so you have a succulent that you like and you find beautiful and you want to make more of. Now, how do you go about doing this? Well, when you have a succulent that's really happy in its little home, it's going to start to produce little baby versions of itself that sort of stems out from the main stem. And here you can see there's about 5 of them around this parent plant. And what you need to do now is to gently lift up this parent plant. So you're gonna sort of just lift it up like so, away from the little baby that you want to pick off, and you're going to trace it with your fingers, the stem of the baby to the parent stem, and then you, with your fingers, you're just gonna nip it off. Now you can use garden gloves, but I find that garden gloves are quite bulky and it sort of blocks and you can't really see what you're doing. And when you're dealing with something like this, you're gonna wanna have a good view of what you're doing so that you can break off a significant amount of stem, which is what you want. And then once you've done that, you're gonna have something that looks like this, and it's gonna have its stem, and sometimes you get lucky and you're gonna have roots that have already developed from this baby stem. But even if you don't have those, it's perfectly fine. Sometimes you have pink stems that are shooting out from it. These are stems that haven't really, I've noticed, haven't really touched the soil yet. It's either just on the surface or hanging on its own, and that's fine. That's actually a really good thing. So what you're gonna do now is leave this little guy aside, and you are now going to get your potting soil that you're going to be planting it in. Now, over my years of planting succulents, and I messed it up. Okay, so you have your potting soil, and the good thing about this potting soil that I'm using, which is just a Groma potting soil that I got from the local nursery that's nearest to my house. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You don't have to go and get the most expensive, fanciest online potting soil. You can just literally get anything from your local nursery, because potting soil is potting soil at the end of the day. So this has little pieces in it, but it also has the barkier pieces. Here we go. And the really great thing about this type of potting soil, I love that it has these little bark pieces, because you'll notice over time is that the smaller pieces will sort of sink to the bottom, and you'll have the barkier pieces on the top, which sort of creates a layer. And that's really fantastic because it results in water retention, and that's really great if you're living in an area that's currently not experiencing a lot of rain, or you simply don't water your plants that often. Yeah, so you got your potting soil, and the next thing you're going to do is get your pot. Now I'm just using a tin that I got from, I think, Peach Slices. You can use whatever pot you like, plastic, ceramic, anything you like, but today I'm using this tin right here, and I have just hammered in some holes, drainage holes, with a nail. And yeah, a really nice thing about using tin pots is that over time it'll begin to rust and give off this really great color, and it's just a really great way of making really fantastic aesthetic pots. And so you're just gonna fill it up, and you're gonna fill it up with the potting soil right to the top. And while you're doing that, just press it down gently to remove any air pockets. And the reason why you're going to want to do this is because if there's a lot of air pockets in it, over the next few days of watering, you're going to notice that the level is going to drop significantly, and it might drop to a level that you don't like. So press it down, and you can fill it up as much as you want, whatever level you find nice, and press it down, and there you go. So I like filling it up all the way to the top, and you'll find out why right now. So once that's done, you're gonna get a nail. It can be any nail, just make sure it's not like extremely rusted, just a nail. And you're gonna pick up your little baby succulent, and you're gonna measure the stem, and then you're gonna take your pot and you're gonna wiggle a hole in the center the size of the stem that you measured. And then all you have to do is simply plop the succulent in like a puzzle, and just sort of push the soil around it, making it more stable in the soil, and you have it. Now, the reason why I use a nail is because it's very easy, it's very quick, there's no mess. Because if you're, for example, just holding the plant here and you start just sort of filling around it, it results in a lot of mess, falls all around. This is very quick, very easy, efficient, no cleanup necessary. And also another great thing is that you're dealing with a very fragile little baby succulent. Sometimes it may be smaller than this, and so this is a great way of not touching it that much, and that's what you want because it's very fragile. So less touching, the better. And so you're just gonna be more gentle with it, just plopping it in, putting it, and pushing a little bit of force around, making sure there's really good stem to soil contact, which is what you want because you really want to get a lot of root generation going. And there you have it. One last thing I wanted to mention that I really enjoy doing with succulents is just adding little stones around it. So I have a few here. You can just group them together, maybe 2 or 3 spots, or you can just do whatever. But what I've noticed, there you go. But what I've noticed is that it's a great combination. Succulents and any type of rock, small, big, a match made in heaven. They always complement each other. So even if you have just a simple plain old plastic pot like this, it doesn't look that fancy, there's nothing great about it, it's not a fancy ceramic painted thing, simply adding little rocks around it can give it a really great look. So if you're having something very simple, very cheap, a really easy way of making it look a little better if you're going for that type of thing is just adding a couple of rocks around it. And yeah, there you go, a propagated succulent. So I hope you guys really liked this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you want more content like this coming your way, subscribe.